Hey guys, John Rettinger here with a review for you of the Pantech Matrix Pro for AT&T Wireless. If you want to pick one of these up, it'll cost you $179 after rebates on a new 2-year contract from either AT&T's online store or your local shop. So let me tell you a little bit about the device. You guys saw the comparisons that I did when I compared it to the iPhone as far as doing general features like text messaging, adding contacts and calendar items. So first, let me start with my opinion on Windows Mobile 6.1 Standard, meaning non-touchscreen. And if you'd like to see those features in action, be sure to check out that previous video. So let me give you some reference of where I was coming from. I had used a Samsung Blackjack. It was running Windows 6.0 Standard, not 6.1 like this device. And I was really very unhappy with it when I used it. It took an extra 3 or 4 steps to do anything. The UI was very unintuitive. And it really was not the stablest of phones either. So I was very skeptical when I came to try the Pantech Matrix Pro. And I have to say, I actually came away very impressed with what Microsoft has done with Windows Mobile 6.1. The sliding panel interface that they implemented, you can see right there, makes navigating much easier. You don't have to go to the Start menu, go to Calendar, hit Menu, add new items. You can really just do it nice and easily right here. Change your ringtone, your background, your task manager. It makes it actually relatively intuitive, and for a Microsoft operating system, I was relatively impressed. And when the time I had using it, I didn't experience any crashes, which also was very unlike the Samsung Blackjack that I had. Definitely got to give my hats off a little bit to Microsoft for putting together an operating system that's relatively stable this time around, and I'm curious what they'll do with Windows Mobile 6.5 Standard when that comes out. So let's get back to this device. Let me show you a little bit about it. It is a little bit on the thick side. So let me give you guys a device comparison here with a few other ones you may be familiar with. So here is the iPhone. You can see it's significantly thicker. And here are a few other Windows mobile devices. Here is the AT&T Fuse that I compared the iPhone with in a few videos back. Here's a thickness comparison there. You can see just about the same. And this is a touchscreen device. Here's another Windows mobile touchscreen device, the Samsung Epics. These are all current devices in AT&T's lineup, by the way. You can see it's markedly thicker. Now, a lot of the heft from the Pantech Matrix comes from this dual slider, which is actually very cool. So, slide it out. You've got your standard keypad right there. Nice and easy. Although I do need to mention that the keypad is very flush with the phone. And there's no ridges between the numbers, or there aren't any ridges between the numbers. So it's going to make dialing without looking very difficult, so keep that in mind. While it does have a nice look to it, it's not necessarily so practical. You can slide that down, and if you slide it up, you get a full Qwerty Keyboard. So while we're on the Qwerty Keyboard, let me talk about it here. It is a straight 3-row of keys, and it actually does have some nice key press to it. Nice clicky feel when you push it. It will take a little bit to get used to the keys because it's very spread out. But after a day or two, really be able to be typing without any difficulty. Notice that the hotkeys too are on far left and the far right. Something to keep in mind, and it does have the number keys inlaid in there, so you have to hit the function key and type on it. One thing I didn't like about the device though, and something that relies this heavily on screen rotation, was the screen rotation speed. So let me show you guys what I mean by that. Turn that back on there. So when I slide the keyboard out, look how long it takes for the screen to rotate. Takes a little bit of time. I thought that should be much quicker than that. So that wasn't something I was terribly happy with. Reception-wise, actually got very good reception. I was able to hold on to really 5 bars most places I was at, so that was always nice. Although right now in my apartment, generally where I get 3 or 4 or 5 bars, I was only getting 2, so that was a little bit disappointing. So it's a phone, so it's got to make good calls, and I'm happy to report the call quality. Actually, like most phones I've tested recently, call quality has been fantastic. There really wasn't any white noise or hissing on my end. And on the other end, callers reported that it sounded nice and clear. Also, testing it with a few Bluetooth headsets worked great, no problem, and pairing was a breeze. So navigation on the phone is a little bit interesting too. It looks like a scroll wheel, but it's not. Actually, just a straight D-pad with a button in the middle. And you've got your home key and your back button and your send and end buttons kind of glow underneath there. So overall, guys, I was very happy with the phone. It was very usable. I felt it was very pocketable. I know some complaints are the heft, but for a device that gets a dual slider, you're going to have to sacrifice slimness for functionality. So that's something that comes along with the territory. So if I have to rate this phone, kind of at a scale from 1 to 5, I gotta give it a very, very, very solid 3.5 to 4. Let's say 3.75 as the rating, if I can do that. It does ship with Pocket Internet Explorer, which is an atrocious browser. So if you do want to get the Pantech Matrix Pro, download Opera Mini or Skyfire. They have both versions for the non-touchscreen 6.1 standard, and that'll make your browsing experience much better. This is a full-featured smartphone. You can do your calendar, your email, hook it up with Microsoft Exchange. You can go on the internet like I just mentioned. You really can do everything on this phone, but just keep in mind that it is a non-touchscreen device. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. If you're looking for something like this, I can recommend the Pantech Matrix Pro. I think AT&T and Pantech did a very nice job with the design. I think Microsoft actually is improving their operating system. I was very down on Windows Mobile in the past. Maybe I'm starting to sway a little bit on that. It certainly won't take me away from my iPhone, but if you're a Windows guy or gal and you want to have something that'll sync up with your computer nice and easy, this is a good option for you. For exclusive content, be sure to follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/John4Lakers, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.